Join me, John Randall, at the North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show, February 13th through the 15th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Test your skills in the long putt contest for a shot at a $100,000 prize package. Plus, try the latest gear from top manufacturers and get free lessons from local PGA pros. Don't miss it.
Tickets on sale now at mngolfshow.com. Save $3 with advance purchase. Each ticket includes 14 free greens fee passes at area courses. Learn more at mngolfshow.com. The 2026 Minnesota Golf Show is swinging into the Minneapolis Convention Center February 13th through 15th, and we want your business on the green. With thousands of passionate golfers roaming the floor, this is your chance to get your brand in front of this quality demographic with a vendor booth or larger sponsorship. And this year's ambassador, NFL Hall of Famer and Viking legend John Randall. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Want in? Don't wait for your invitation to land in the fairway. Call Bernie Lauer at 651-632-6646 or email blaur@hbi.com before the best spots are gone. This is the Weekly Scramble, a place where we chat about life over a cold one or two. It's time to belly up to the pod with Mike Fratelloni and your host, Chris Reavers.
That's right. It's time for the Weekly Scramble podcast. My name is Chris Reavers. With me, as always, his name is Mike Fratelloni. Hello, Michael.
You're finally going through puberty with that little
it's
voice
weird
of yours.
When it's this time of the year, based upon the cold and just, there's stuff going on. I feel fine, but my voice has just been in and out today. So I'm trying to hang on for dear life through our podcast episode here. But
I almost blamed you on something. Like I came into the offices.
Yeah.
And so what happens is the offices are really super professional here at Hubbard.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes people walk through the offices that look super professional. So I walked in and a lady was there and she looked really dressed up, like super professional. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And she said, "Great." And I said, "Hi." And I was walking towards the Garage Logic studio. There was a piece of paper on the ground. And I said, "I'm going to show this person that I care for our building."
Yes.
Because our building's perfectly clean. Like it's a well-maintained building. So I reached down to pick it up. And then I realized it's a Kleenex that I probably think you dropped out of your pocket. And all I could think of is I just picked up a dirty Kleenex from Reavers.
Yes.
But the gal behind me probably thought, "Oh my God, that guy is a worker. He's community oriented.
Absolutely.
He's a good man. That guy is a good man," that woman said. Or she didn't even notice that I picked up a dirty Kleenex.
Either that, yeah. Probably either or.
Sorry.
So
I had to tell that story.
There's a number of things I want to talk about, but let's start with the really non-serious storyline from over the weekend. You know me, I love me some sports ball.
You do. Big
And
fan.
I watched a whole bunch of football the last couple of days. The boys and I we were watching the Bills and the Broncos game. Now, my oldest son is a massive Josh Allen fan, so he has become
He's pissed, I bet.
kind of an associate member of the Bills Mafia, an adopted member, of the Bills Mafia. And I'm watching that game. And it was kind of finally like, okay, this is Josh Allen's year. Patrick Mahomes isn't in the playoffs. Joe Burrow's not in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson's not in the playoffs. This is Josh Allen's year.
Yep.
And he turns the ball over they turned the ball over 5 times. I think he had 4. And they sadly lose to the Denver Broncos in overtime. Here's the reason why I want to bring up this game. And I do root for the Bills once the Vikings season is over with, right? They're my AFC team. But there was a play in the game in which Brandon Cooks seemed to have caught the ball, rolled over as he hit the ground, and then the Denver defensive back ripped it out of his hands, and it was ruled an interception in the field.
You said that a little errantly because you said he seemed to have caught the ball. He 100% caught the damn ball.
So obviously I have a tad bit of bias because I want the Bills to win. But here's my problem with what happened. So this bozo crew decides, well, not only are we not going to review it, we're barely going to stop play, to the point where the Bills head coach, who actually lost his job 2 days later, had to take a timeout to say, "Are you guys going to look at this play?" And the part that was mind-blowing to me, it wasn't necessarily that they ruled it a certain way on the field, which I didn't agree with the call, but that's how it was ruled on the field.
It's quick like that on the field.
Review it. I mean,
it's a turnover of one of the most important games of the year.
It was the deciding play of that game.
And
you have
was.
Every sport now. Baseball even has replay now, to the point where every one of these jackasses has to make it about themselves and give themselves a little extra camera time. You're not going to even spend a minute to look at the damn thing.
It was so strange. If you haven't seen the play, the receiver lands completely on his back. His elbow is on the ground. The defensive player lands on top of him, grabs the ball in a smooth motion, by the way.
Right.
The defensive player did it in a smooth motion, rolled off of him, and ended up with the ball. But the offensive player was already down. The receiver was already down.
Well,
when he hit the ground, it was done.
That's the thing. So once he's touched and on the ground,
It's over.
The play is done.
Yes.
And what I didn't understand is even if they had dual what would you call it? Dual possession, it automatically goes to the offensive player. That's how it's supposed to work. So again, did it ruin my weekend? Not really.
It was a horrible, horrible call.
Well, and it decided a team's season, essentially.
Yep.
And I guess the problem that I had is you guys don't waste 1 second. Like the classic example is that buffoon Gene Sarator, who's a decent referee, but boy, does he love the camera. And now he's actually an analyst for CBS. And I'm thinking, I literally could not believe it, because even if that's a regular season game, you know they're going to take a look at it. And I think...
could they not take a look at it? Because it was an overtime, do you not have a challenge flag at that time?
If they did, they might have used it. I don't know.
I don't think they used it. He took a timeout instead of a challenge.
Yeah.
But that is... and I don't know, that possession might not even be challengeable.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
It was horrible. And then... what I loved about it is Broncos go down and they got this little field goal that they just need to punch in for the win. And Bo Nix says, I'm going to move over 1 yard so my kicker can kick this field goal 1 yard over into the middle of the field. And someone steps on him and breaks his ankle. Okay, it's not his karma. That's not Bo Nix's karma. It's the referee butterfly effect from such a shitty call that absolutely stole the game. And God said, no. The Broncos were not supposed to win this one, Bo. Yeah. I'm so sorry, you're out.
So that was a bummer. And unfortunately, Sean McDermott, who I didn't realize in his 9 seasons there has almost 100 wins. And then they fired him on Monday. And I'm thinking, because he turned the ball over 5 times, but whatever. That's another story for another time. So, I mean, whatever. And like I said, Josh Allen is an easy guy to root for, because you can tell he genuinely cares, and he is beloved in that city.
Sure.
I mean,
he wasn't when he first was drafted.
He was not at first. You're right.
People were crying when they drafted him.
They're thinking, we're drafting a quarterback from Wyoming. But anyway, so I want to transition from that, because the reason he went to Wyoming is there wasn't another Division I school that was going to let him play quarterback.
Sure.
That was the only one. He's got a pretty good story. And that's what I wanted to transition to last night. Did you watch the national championship game?
I watched all of it, yep.
So the quarterback for Indiana, it's truly one of the most astounding turnarounds in sports history. It just is.
Kind of.
Well, I get it with the transfer portal and all that, but Indiana won as many bowl games in the past 19 days as they did in the previous 150,000 years that they've been a football program.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is very cool. So for those of you that don't know, the quarterback that won the Heisman Trophy for Indiana, his name is Francisco Mendoza. He's expected to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. And the reason I wanted to mention him is the story of just him is very cool. So they beat Miami last night in their stadium in Miami, and he's from that area.
From Miami, yep.
And he was attempting to be a walk-on for the Hurricanes, and he was told no.
No, thank you, yep.
So then he went to California, and he was with the California Bears for a couple of years, then transferred to Indiana and became what he's become, the biggest name in college football right now. But I can't explain just how much I love stories like that, where a kid who seems like an easy kid to root for, who essentially nobody wanted. He had to be a preferred walk-on for Division I, but he said, I'm going to bet on myself. And I get it. There's a lot of money. He probably made a couple $1 million to be Indiana's quarterback. But the point of the story is, he said, well, just because one person told me no, or that I wasn't good enough for them, well, I'll show them that I was good enough for them. And the fact that that's the team he ends up beating in the national championship for, again, a school that's been a doormat in college football for centuries, I think it's pretty cool.
incredibly interesting. I think Indiana completely cheated.
Okay.
They have their average age of a player, as you know, is 23 years old.
Right.
They have no players, 0 players, offensive players, that are under 21 years old. Reavers, you start college in 18.
Right.
You wrap it up by 21 or 22. You're not supposed to be in college at 23. Those are called doctors, right? People that are extending past.
Is that your Tommy Boy line?
Yes. So, I mean, I believe that's absolute crap, because Cignetti said, why don't we just go get... Because the difference between an 18-year-old guy and a 23-year-old guy is a massive difference in football.
Yep.
Massive. And they basically just said, you guys weren't quite good enough to be pro players, but you're old enough, and we're going to have you for one season. We're going to go win a national championship.
But, Mike, that's not just an Indiana thing. That's just how much the landscape of college football has changed. And I got to be perfectly honest, I probably watched the least amount of college football that I ever have this year.
Sure.
And that's a big reason why.
Yeah, Miami's average age, the people that lost, obviously, was 20. So on average, their players are 3 years older.
But if you want to go down the road that you previously went down, their quarterback, Carson Beck, you saw his quote from 2 or 3 days ago.
What did he say?
He was doing, when they always do the press and whatnot, and he was sitting at the podium, and some reporter had asked him, so, is it tough on you guys to have to miss class
today? Yeah.
And he said, well, I graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's still playing college football.
Think of that.
To me, I get it. And the NCAA has a massive problem on its hands. But you ain't putting the toothpaste back in the tube with this. You just aren't.
What do you think of that true freshman, Tony?
Oh, the receiver. He's going to be, he's a really good player.
My God, he's 18 years old.
He should be a senior in high school.
He should be a senior in high school. Think of that. And he's out there winning championships, trying to win championships and playing unbelievably well. I'm a little pissed because I think that's kind of cheating. We're getting a bunch of old men to play the game. Oh, you want to come here? We'll give you $500,000. Let's go win a national championship. I bet you anything, Reverse, that rule's going to change.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a second.
They'll have to change that rule, some part of it. The math is just so my daughter goes to USC, right?
Yep.
And I'm forgetting Lenoris. I'm forgetting Lenoris' last name. The quarterback at USC. USC has a Midland team, right? They're 50% win streak team. He's making $3.9 million a year to play quarterback at USC. Not USC in California, in South Carolina.
That's crazy.
That's $4 million a year. Good for you, Lenoris. Wow. And he's got a team that they barely had 6 wins or whatever. Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
You know what it is, Mike?
What is it?
It's nuts.
It's totally nuts.
And we are nutsmn.com. You know who's been roasting nuts longer than most of us have been alive? The We Are Nuts crew. Mm-hmm. Family owned, Minnesota made, and absolutely obsessed with roasting small batch nuts to perfection and inventing wild and also unforgettable flavors. Since 1987, they've been crafting famous toffee nuts and small batch snacks that are great for parties, on the go snacking, and even holiday gifts. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. We Are Nuts has gotten so big.
So big? How big?
They are now in almost 700 Quick Trip locations. That's right. 700 Quick Trip locations. Right? I'm not kidding. I just got this bulletin this morning. It's fantastic.
Is that the power of the Garage Logic Podcast Network?
Can I share you something? So
I'm being serious.
I don't know, but I'll say this.
Okay.
I was at a Quick Trip in Mankato Saturday, and I was grabbing some pizza for the boys, and we were going to watch a little football, and I saw the We Are Nuts display, and so I kind of... Here, I'll show you right here. I kind of
put them in your pocket.
I did a snapshot, and then I saw a guy, and I've got an armful of crap.
Sure.
I got 2 kids that are driving me insane, and then I saw a guy in a GL shirt kind of going over to them.
Are you kidding me?
And I was going to say hi, but then my boys get really irritated with me because I don't stop talking. See, look at the display right there.
That's cool.
Like, Dad, let's just go. So anyway, I promise you this is an ad for We Are Nuts. 700 Quick Trip locations, including in Mankato. I can verify that. And also at all of your Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores locations, Max Hardware, Lunds and Barley's, Kowalski's Markets, Coburn's, County Market. Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think I am. But it's
Cub Foods. Did you say
Cub Foods? Thank you very much. But it's a wonderful family-owned operation, and they're making the best snacks known to man. If you can't make it to any one of those locations, order online at wearenutsmn.com. The Weekly Scramble. We will be right back.
Who doesn't love this time of year? Football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Underdog is so easy, you just pick if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. If you get your picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So many great players to choose from this time of season, but the way I look at it, I think Matthew Stafford to go higher on yards passing is always a good way for me to go, and Saquon Barkley's a nice pick to go higher on rushing yards. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code GARAGE to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code GARAGE. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Can I start this up? Because I had something to tell you.
Go.
So you had seen the guy at buying We Are Nuts, right?
Yeah.
So I was driving on the road, and I see, like the dash screens now on cars are really big.
Yeah.
And I see a GL logo on the dash screen.
Oh, nice.
So I'm saying to my daughter, I'm grabbing my phone saying, hey, they're playing our podcast. They're playing our podcast in the car next to us. And so I'm taking a picture of it. And my daughter, the buzzkill that she is, she says, that's the GL podcast, Dad. That's not yours. and in all fairness, I knew it was a GL podcast, but I wanted her to think.
But you're part of the team.
Yeah, and I wanted her to think that maybe, just maybe, someone listens to her dad on the podcast, on the radio and the podcast. So I was really kind of fooling her a little bit.
Yeah.
And then she said, Dad, that's adorable. That's the GL podcast, not yours.
Well, and I had mentioned that, they kind of get irritated because I will run into somebody that I know and we'll strike up a conversation. And my youngest, a couple weeks ago, said, Dad, with what you do for a job, don't you ever get tired of talking? So I took that as a sign, like, okay, maybe it's time we head out.
Well, we need some more shirts, and we definitely need to see pictures of people listening to their podcast and driving down the weekly Scramble version,
right.
Not just the GL podcast, although we're on the same feed and we get it.
All right, I have to bring up something with you.
Okay.
We talked about it a little bit earlier today on the Garage Logic podcast, but it's one of those subjects, Mike, where I ask myself, what are we doing here exactly? Mm-hmm. So several people have organized a business blackout for this Friday, and to show their support and rally against ICE operating in the state of Minnesota, most notably here in the Twin Cities. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking myself, okay, hold on here a second. So the way that you're going to show everybody that you guys all mean business is you're going to deprive the local businesses that are already hurting because of staffing issues and things like that. You're going to say we're not going to support these. I don't get what's going on here.
It's called the ICE Out of Minnesota Day of Truth and Freedom. Whether you believe in that concept or not, let's put that to the side, right? That let's just pretend to not talk about that. What does closing businesses do?
I don't get it.
And maybe if they said, hey, we want everybody to take a break at 2:00 when the rally starts, right? And that sure. I can go like, hey, everybody close, everybody come down to the rally. And maybe that's what they mean. But what I think is people, if they lose a day of work, if people lose a day of work in a week,
yep.
It can 100% affect them, right? People need those hours. And, people in the restaurant business, because they're asking a ton of restaurants, they really, that's what they need to survive. They might not be able to take it off. And so it's very, very difficult. I don't know if this is the best idea. I'm not arguing whether they should have the rally or not. That's not their argument. I just don't know if it accomplishes what you want to accomplish because people need those hours. Well, people need that time.
And not to mention, the first thought that comes to my mind is, do you think for a second that the administration in the White House is going to say, hey, hold up a minute here. We've got something going on in the Twin Cities where, a couple of different businesses have shut down. We better rethink that. That's not going to happen. So I don't get what your point is at all.
Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, right? I'm a big fan of Martin Luther King, big fan of Martin Luther King Day. I'm not a big fan of driving to, I'm going to say the place because it's a big place and I love it and I spent a lot of money there. I went to Cane's, right? So I'm sitting in the drive-thru at Cane's and I'm like, hello, sitting in the drive-thru. A couple minutes, I'm like, what the hell? So I drive forward and on the window of the drive-thru, there's a sign that says, closed for observance of Martin Luther King Day. And I said, oh, totally fine that you're closed on Monday. I get it. That's something you could be closed for. Put the sign on the drive-through thing.
Right.
So when I pull up,
was
it
the
says,
board lit up?
Yes. The whole damn thing was on. And I was
that's
like,
crazy.
what are you doing? And what, is it that hard to just put the little sign up that says, hey, we're closed? And I'd say, oh, I'll go to Wendy's. Okay, I can live without my Chick-fil-A for the day. Not Chick-fil-A, Cane's for the day. I just thought it was a little odd. But Reavers, we're going back to this. There's some grocery stores that are going to close, like the Wedge Community Co-op, Eastside Co-op, a handful of grocery stores, some coffee shops are going to close. A bunch of restaurants are going to close. But let me tell you this little story about a restaurant I went to in my neck of the woods. So there is a little Mexican restaurant. I live close to a Mexican population, like a big group. I'm in St. Paul. I'm near the west side, and there's a lot of Mexican-inspired restaurants and people, a lot of Mexicans in that area, right? So I go to this Mexican restaurant, not to make a proclamation that I'm supporting them or not to not support them. It's just a restaurant I go to all the time and I really like it.
It's really good food, yeah.
And it's really good food. So I go up and there's some people standing outside and they have a little heater. And I said, hey, hello, how you doing? Stay safe, stay warm, right? And they're outside. And I didn't really connect the dots that they're there to kind of protect the restaurant, right? But it makes sense to me. There's probably a lot of Mexican workers working in this faster food Mexican restaurant. So I go in, greeted by this beautiful, sweet cashier that works there. She's just the most pleasant gal. She's Mexican, but speaks perfect English. So I don't know if she's lived here her entire life or what.
All right.
So as I'm leaving, I noticed that the key is in the lock on the inside of the front door. Like on the inside of the door, their main key for their door is in the lock. So I go outside and I said, hey, just so you know, the key's in the door. And they said, yeah, we know. We're keeping an eye on it. Then I thought, man, should I see if I can help them with a locksmith? So I'm thinking, well, you want that key out of there because you don't want to leave your front door key. I hop into my car and I thought, wait, they're here. If ICE pulls up, they pop in and lock the door.
Yep.
I got out of my car and I went back and I said, I misunderstood. I get it now. I get now what you're doing. I didn't put two and two together. I've been to that restaurant so many times. I just didn't really, the process was just totally normal to me. Nothing felt weird. And then I thought, how many times do I want ICE to randomly go into a Mexican restaurant? I don't know if I want that.
I probably don't want that either, but that leads to another clip that I wanted to play. So there was a local arrest made. And again, I've kind of been out of the loop because I didn't work yesterday, so that my timeline's kind of screwed up. So I don't know exactly what day this surfaced. I think that this video surfaced on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know when exactly the arrest took place. But there is there's a couple of female protesters who are out and about. And I believe this was in St. Paul, but basically they were trying to impede ICE doing its work.
Okay.
And again, I have some issues with some of the things that are going on, but I'm just trying to, because years ago, I begged Joe to write a book on the rules for being a lefty, because it's really confusing to me.
It is. It's hard to figure out.
Because a lot of the things that they stand for don't really make sense, and a lot of things they want to have happen, well, that's just kind of not how it's supposed to work. But whatever, you be you, right? I'm a live and let live guy.
Sometimes they want a ton of government, sometimes they want no government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So case in point is this 20-second video from an ICE agent to a female protester. Take a listen.
Second reporting. We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
Oh, they're not. No, we're pressing. We're not.
That vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane.
So That's, I guess, where
The
I
people
kind
protesting didn't know that, right?
Right, but I guess that's my point.
May not be true, though.
You don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I get it, that the tactics could be a little bit better. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and I apologize for coughing with my mic on. My throat's hanging on for dear life. But I was talking to somebody the other day that internally deals with some of this stuff. This person is not in law enforcement, but they observe things that of what ICE is doing from an operational standpoint. And he says often, because people want a little bit more transparency, and I totally get that. I would like a little bit too, just given the job that I do. But the problem is, the more transparent that they are with this stuff, it will be harder for them to apprehend the bad guys, because once the bad guys get the word out, they're out of here. I mean, they're getting on planes, they're getting in the car, they're getting out of here. And I guess for me, sure, are some of the tactics that are being applied here, is it I don't know what the answer is. I really don't, and I'm not going to pretend that I do know what the
To be able to stand out in front of a target and have Chris Reavers Jamirez, or whatever your name would be, to ask you about your driver's license. I don't like that. We can't do that in this country. If someone commits a crime, get the evidence, arrest them, deport them, do whatever you have to do, right? But you can't just put up a roadblock and say, everyone who's coming out of the Target Center, show me your papers.
But one of the reasons why in this state, let's just say the Twin Cities, one of the reasons why they had to come here in the first place is because the bad guys aren't getting prosecuted. Because the bad guys are roaming free.
That's the problem with having the concept of a sanctuary city, right? You don't have just the bad guys gone, right? And you become a mark. You know, we don't have a lot of illegal immigrants. They said in Texas it's 2.6 million illegal immigrants, right? We have 100,000. Well, if you really wanted to, if it was a thing about illegal immigration, they'd be down in Texas, because that's where there's a pile of them, right? And I don't know, Reavers. So here's an anecdotal story that I was told from someone I trust. His best friend was walking into a Target, right? Yep. His best friend is Korean. ICE agent said, hey, show me your driver's license. This guy hesitated a little bit, took out his driver's license, and they said, go. Then they grabbed him by the arm and said, next time have it ready for me.
Oh, see, that's too much. Yeah, that's too much.
I would have said, honest to God, I don't know what I would have said. I probably would have said, nothing, right? And walked by. But my mind would have said, oh, you don't get to do that to Americans, period. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to Target. I don't have to answer your questions. I don't have to look at you. I don't have to do anything. But this kid is obviously Korean, right? And you can tell he's Korean because he looks Korean. He's never been to Korea, doesn't speak Korean. He was born in Minnesota. And I think that is not right, even though the Supreme Court said it was legal, right? Or constitutional at the moment. This can't be the way we go about it, because every time you do something like this, you move one more step closer to a dictatorship, one more step closer to you have to show your papers whether you had a COVID shot or not, one more step closer. And we got to stop that. We have to figure out a way to stop that. Maybe it's with a protest. I don't think a protest is going to do it, to tell you the truth.
I really don't either. Let's talk about North American Banking Company. Banking done differently since 1998, when they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they also know you. And while a lot has changed since then, this commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities, that has not. And you know what? You get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's Woodbury, Hastings, Shoreview, Maple Grove, 50th in France, and also in Roseville. They offer all of the same updated online and mobile banking tools as those other big national banks. But the key difference is you're going to get the unparalleled service of a community bank, locally owned and operated. Here's why that's important. That means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So this helps all of you business owners solve problems quickly, and also Expand your business with confidence. You see, they deal with numbers every single day, but you are never going to be one of them. So check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. The Weekly Scramble. We will be right back. All right, I have a confession to make. Mm-hmm. So yesterday I had the day off. The boys didn't have school, so we just kind of putzed around the house and did some laundry, things like that. And in one of my bathrooms at home, the mechanism had failed. It had gone to puts on me, so I had to replace the whole deal. Like I just thought I'll buy the kit and I'll just do the whole deal, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, am I Mr. Fix-It, Mr. Handyman? No, but this is something pretty simple that I could figure this out.
Did you buy a Flutemaster 400? What did you get?
I think so. I think that's
comes in a little box.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I bought. Okay,
it's a good one. It's called the ball cock, but yeah.
Thank you. So I bought it a couple days ago, and I've been kind of sitting around that. Oh, I have the day off. This is exactly what I'm going to do. So I took it all apart. Right, took the tank off, cleaned everything up nice and good. And made it all shiny and stuff. And so I started to put the valve on, and then this on, and the chute on, and all that stuff on. And then I get the two bolts that connect the tank to the bowl.
Oh, you took that off?
Oh, I took everything off.
Oh, really?
Because the water. Because, again, the house has only had Hofferman water in Connecticut for the past 4 years.
Good water. You can drink right out of the toilet.
Of course, yeah. In fact, I had a sip. But I just wanted to clean it so it was ready to go. Mm-hmm. So I cleaned it up, and I was joking with the boys saying, we got to do surgery on the patient. Turns out, too much crap. We just got to So I was playing doctor, basically, right? And so I have a scalpel, so the little guy was helping me. It was fun. So I go to assemble the tank, and on the instructions it says, do not tighten all the way.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So it's got the nice little tool that you use to get the bolts in there nice and secure. I'm like, I'm just going to give her a nice little snap the entire side of the porcelain throne. Yeah. And I went, son of a bitch.
Went from a simple job to a time-consuming job.
So now, I mean, the tank assembly, I think I handled it. I've done it before.
Sure.
I don't think I can replace a whole toilet myself. I
think you can. It's not really that hard, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Especially with your house. Yours, it's a new house.
Right.
So it's not like a 1900s house where the pipe has been molested so many times below there. I think you can 100% do it. And you just go and buy a toilet. Buy the whole thing. Don't buy the top because they're all like $100.
Well, and it's the bowl is the part that cracked. It wasn't the tank.
Okay. So yeah, the bowl cracked.
I have to replace the whole thing.
That's a problem. I did. I'm having some work done at my house, right? I'm getting some stuff done, some tile work done. And I said, I might replace that toilet. So I went toilet shopping.
Oh, nice.
You know what you can spend a lot of money on?
A toilet.
And a lot of money on.
Wait, what is this going to set me back?
Well, if you buy a simple toilet, which I suggest you do because you don't care. You're just using it. I want mine like a little more massagey, heated, and stuff like that. They were showing me options, Reavers, for $7,800 for a toilet.
What?
Yes. And I said, you've got the wrong guy. Like, I want to get a nice toilet. The chance of me spending $8,000 on a toilet are zero. Literally zero. I would never do it. But I might buy one a little down the line from that. Here's what I want out of the toilet, right?
Got to have a bidet.
And it can't be a bidet that's in the seat. I want a unit that's the whole thing of the bidet. I don't want a bidet attachment. Yet they make like $3,000 seat attachments for some Toto toilets that are just the seat is the bidet, right?
Oh my God.
I want it to be heated. I want my water to be heated. I want to be able to aim my jet, whether it's front or back, because there's aim. I need a remote control. You think I'm joking? 100% there's a remote control. I want it to have a reverse airflow, so it pulls air down and out, right? So the air, if for some magical way what I'm doing creates some air that I wouldn't want floating out there, it will reverse pull that air out. I want self-cleaning, which is another one because it has this jet flow. And you can get a lot. You get a nice Toto toilet. It does all of that and more, right? And there's even toilets that have some AI to it. So it can look up there and it can say, hey,
Mike's here again.
We need to. Mike's here. Oh, by the way, you walk up there, and as you walk up to it, it opens up. Ooh, has a little blue light around it.
So it almost has a setting like your vehicle would for your seat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Hey,
and
I'm using key fob number 2. That means Mike's driving.
Yes. I can pick the temperature of the water.
Wow.
Have you had a bidet ever in your entire life?
Where was I staying? We had one once at a hotel we were staying at.
This is the most arrogant, douchey thing I can ever say. But bidets can change your life.
I bet.
Douchey, because the bidet is a douche. I didn't even catch that. That was a play on words. It makes it very hard. If I go over to someone's house and they don't have a bidet, I think, I'm filthy.
We're out of here.
What kind of savages would use this? I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know that I could ever go down that route because I don't think she'd mind me telling this. My mother grew up in a farmhouse.
Okay.
And they literally went to the bathroom outside.
Really?
They had an outhouse for the first... Let's see, my mom was born in 1956. I think she said for the first 5 years, that's how they went to the bathroom.
Just think on a day like today, it's
God.
1 out there,
Oh.
and you had to run to the bathroom. Although, you go fast, right? You'd go fast. You wouldn't sit out there and say,
No.
I'm going to relax here for a little bit.
You're like the dog. I got to get this over with and get back in.
Yeah, my dog, it was funny that she said that. I was taking my dog out, and she did her business, and then she lifted up a paw. Right? Like, because it was cold.
Yeah.
I said, well, come on. Let's go back in. Let's hurry up. And she's like, she basically gave up. She basically just said, I can't make it. Leave without me.
Just leave me here.
I mean, I was like, oh, honey, all you have to do is take 10 more steps. You're going to be inside.
You're right here.
I had to go pick her up, and she looked at me. No one's ever done this in their life, Reavers. She said, I love you more than anything.
You saved me.
You saved me. No one's ever done that. Either I love you more than anything or said I saved them. Neither of those things. And she gave me a kiss across the face.
You were her
And
hero.
I put her down and she's like, this tile is nice and warm. Can I go use your bidet next time? And I said, honey, you go do it. The dog bidet. I don't know if you've heard this other news that Justin Timberlake is joining the war effort in Ukraine.
I did not know this.
Yeah, he's going to be stationed somewhere around the Crimea River. You'd have to know that song. Do you think everyone knows that song? Crimea River.
Oh, that's one of his true bangers. That song's
so
fantastic.
everyone who listens to this show knows that Justin Timberlake has a song called Crimea River,
which he wrote about Britney Spears.
And she's just crying herself a river. That girl's nuts.
I got to be honest. I know we got to wrap up, but it's troubling seeing some of those videos online because every guy my age had a crush on Britney back in the day.
Would you?
Now?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, good. Just checking. She's still a star and beautiful. Okay, Reavers.
Let's not be dumb.
You are the best.
Thank you, Michael. Please do us a favor, rate and review the show wherever you happen to be listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. It helps other people find the show, and it helps us out as well, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. His name is Mike Fratelloni. My name is Chris Reavers. Thank you so very much for listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. We'll talk to you again next time, and until then, cheers.